द्राविड उत्कल बंगा, विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा, उच्चल जलधि तरंगा। तव शुभ नामे जागे, तव शुभ आशीष मांगे, गाहे तव जय गाथा। जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता। जय हे जय हे जय हे, जय 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 हे।
Today is our 75th Independence Day, our Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav. It's a day we are all celebrating. Our flag is on display everywhere. We are all proud, we are all enthused. We all want our country to do very well, and we all have to strive hard to make sure that happens. In particular, we want Indian science to do very well. It is important for us as individuals. After all, most scientists are extremely egoistic. But it is even far more important for our society, for rational thinking in our society, and for the development of the country. One measure of doing well is to have a few individuals doing exceptionally well, carrying out research that would qualify as being of Nobel Prize quality. We had several individuals of that level of accomplishment before independence, and at- there was one winner. After independence, there have also been a few of that level of accomplishment. I can, for example, name G.N. Ramchandran as one who should have certainly received the big prize. But overall, there have been too few scientists of that caliber. Our base for research and science was very small for the first 50 years of our independence. In the first 25 years, many new research institutes were started, a testimony to the realization of the people that even in a poor country, science and technology are important for the development. Research institutes struggled to do well despite the paucity of funds, and it is a tribute to the science working then that they managed to achieve some level of excellence. These scientists were committed and motivated individuals working hard, and they made things better for future generations of scientists. It was at this time that the first of what would now qualify as a mission program, the atomic energy program, took off. It was the first example of what self-reliance or Atmanirbharta could achieve in this country when science and technology receive relatively strong government support. The next 25 years were a kind of status quo. Very few new research institutes were established. Universities in particular continued to struggle with even less funding for research than the newer institutes. Going through some level of struggle is necessary for being successful, but this was struggle of the debilitating kind. The country continued to go through difficult times in terms of funding. A few scientists did very well only because of their very strong commitment and self-motivation and persistence in the face of problems they face while dealing with the hassles of bureaucracy and insufficient funding. A second example of national self-reliance emerged with the development of the space program, and there was some success in allied defense programs. It was again a sign that we Indians could work together as a team for achieving international success. In the last 25 years, the base for research in science expanded dramatically. Many new institutes have been started, including IITs and IISERs. Research in an undergraduate setting had been carried out in inadequately funded universities for decades, in some cases in almost a heroic manner. Now, for the first time, research started being carried out in relatively well-funded undergraduate settings, in IITs in particular, converting themselves into research universities from being previously focused on education. Many private universities have also been set up, and some seem to be very serious in their intention to establish well-funded research programs. It is important for the country that all research universities in the country, public and private, succeed in their endeavors. And very importantly, the country's scientists show they could deliver at a time of crisis during the pandemic in the last few years. The research base in the country is still far too small. The number of research scientists, for example, in biology departments in all Indian research institutions and universities combined, with access to facilities they require, is smaller than the number of research biologists in a single large university in other parts of the world, particularly in the USA. It is not too different in the case of other science departments. The number of Indian science PhDs in India per capita is much smaller than in any developed country. We hope that our country's economy will grow well enough in the near future that it will be able to increase its financial commitment to research and technology development to make it on par with funding in the developed world. The country will never be able to develop in the truest sense without a strong and robust research ecosystem. What can we do at the institute level? The institute now receives funding, more or less at par when normalized against faculty strength, with that at other government-funded research universities. It is unlikely that our funding will improve dramatically in the near future, and we have to do well within the financial constraints. The Institute was fortunate in receiving very generous funding for its first 10 years when it was in the project mode. We have been doing well. Indeed, we have had no excuse not to do well. We now have to show that we can do even better despite funding having become much tighter. While we often require state-of-the-art equipment to do state-of-the-art research, it is possible in many cases to think of different solutions to the research problems we attempt to solve. While ideally our research accomplishments should be limited only by our intellectual abilities, without any financial or other constraints whatsoever, this is practically never the case in nearly all parts of the world. I am sure that with not too much struggle and with a lot of perseverance, the Institute will do very well in the years to come. There are many challenges which I'm sure we will overcome. We need to set our sights high, discard our feelings of entitlement, and continue to show that as scientists, we are no less than scientists anywhere else in the world. We should do well enough so that our institute is counted in the top 3 research universities in the country in the very near future. It is very doable. Once again, my best wishes to all of you on our Azadi Ka Amrut Mahotsav. Enjoy the day and have fun.
Good morning, everyone. On the occasion of Matrubhasha Divas on February 21st, Institute conducted an essay competition on the topic Matrubhasha Ka Mahatva, Importance of Mother Language. Mr. Ganesh Dimbar, Lab Technician Chemistry, declared as the winner, and he receives a certificate and a cash prize of rupees 1,000. I request director to give away the certificate and cash prize to Mr. Ganesh.
Thank you very much. Now all are invited for high tea in LHC, followed by cultural program by our students in auditorium. Thank you.